Testing. We're on mic. Hey everyone.
Oh,
Oh, mic test. You guys-
yeah.
Hello.
Hello. Perfect. Hi everyone, and welcome to the last day of TwitchCon. Unfortunately,
Yay.
it's gonna be so sad. I don't get to see
know.
you guys anymore. But welcome and thank you so much for being here for today's panel. We're gonna be talking about the power of charity streaming, which is very, very powerful on Twitch. There is gonna be a little bit of a Q&A at the end, so there is a mic stand in the middle. So if you have any questions to ask these professionals, just save it in mind, and then we'll go through it a bit later. So yeah, let's get this show on the road. First off, on the agenda, we have introductions, the basics, how to host a charity stream, leveling up your charity stream, and then the Q&A section. So without further ado, first up we have...
Hi, I'm Smirky. I go by he and pronouns. I've been streaming for over 13 years. I got started by streaming this cutesy little Disney game called Toontown Online, and I played it a lot growing up, and that's kind of how I got into streaming. I kind of have expanded my bubble since then, but also keep that core content, and with that core community, have raised a lot of money for charity. As you can see there, that's just the Tiltify total, not including anything on like Twitch's charity tool or any other platforms that we may be talking about on the panel today. And I don't know, do we do like an icebreaker or like, I don't know, crazy charity things that we've done? No, I'll just leave it to chance.
We'll find out later.
We'll find out that, yeah, that's part of the content.
Also, next up we have...
Hi, I'm Lil Simsy. My name is also Kayla. I use she, her pronouns. I play a lot of The Sims on my YouTube channel and my Twitch channel. And I also do a lot of fundraising for various charities on stream, like many of my friends here.
Oh yeah. Next we have...
Hi.
Hello.
Hi. My name is Steven. I go by he, him. I play a lot of The Sims on Twitch as well. I do fundraise for a lot of various charities as well. I find charity fundraising very fun, very collaborative, and just kind of, I don't know, exciting.
100%. And last but not least on this panel...
Hello, my name is Rosanna. Online, I go by Rosannatxt, and I've been streaming for about 4.5 years. Started doing charity fundraisers about 6 months in, and I just never stopped because I love it. It's a great way to engage the community, get everyone involved, and yeah, I'm very excited to talk about it today.
Yippee. And it is me, just Trash. Hello, everyone. I go by she, they. I am from Sydney, Australia, so I've been streaming for about 5 years as well, and I'm more here for these guys right now, so let's focus on them. But fun fact, all of us combined, we've raised this much money, which Rosanna has totaled up. The little fun facts, but it's amazing how much we can do on Twitch, for Twitch, and for the charities that we kind of raise money for. So let's talk about the basics, how to host a charity stream. Smokey, did you want to kind of go through?
Yeah, I mean, if we go down the line, that's cool. So, so getting into the basics of charity streaming, the first thing that comes to mind is finding a charity, and as well as finding a charity that's like right for you. There's a lot of tools, and we have the screenshot here from Tiltify where you can go through their directory to like find and learn a little bit more about causes. There's a lot of other tools as well. One that you may hear through the grapevine is a tool called Charity Navigator that really outlines not just like the charities and what they do, who they are, but also kind of goes over analytics and stewardship of funds and trust and things that kind of give you a deeper dive into how operations work, which is really important. So, you know, getting a little bit more than just finding your, you know, what aligns with your values as a creator and as a, you know, community from the description alone. There's only so much that you can grasp from that. So there's a lot of great tools there that you can dive into. And you can find a lot of great local and global charities as well. I know in like Twitch's charity tool, you know, with PayPal Giving Fund, there's so many like causes, for example, that really are outlined. I've even like dabbled with like the directory a little bit, and it's amazing like what you can find on there to learn more about.
I've never used the Twitch one. I've only ever used Tiltify, But yeah, you can find so many cool things. Rosanna, did you have something to add?
Actually, I wanted to add to that of like finding a charity that you want to fundraise for. I've taken a lot of inspiration on like literally from people on this panel, just watching other streamers,
Yeah.
seeing like events that they're involved in and things that they're doing, and then seeing if that might be a fit for you as well, seeing if that's something that you're passionate about too, and then seeing if you can join either a bigger event or you can set up your own charity stream for that specific charity is a really good way to find charities that are also involved in Twitch. So not just existing out there, but do things in collaboration with Twitch streamers already, because I think that makes it a little less daunting to start.
Yeah, and I think also it's nice to be able to fundraise for things that matter to you. Like maybe there was something in your life that happened, like an important cause to you, or maybe it's like a current event that you want to help fundraise for relief for, or something along those lines. But there's, lots of options.
Yeah, I would say I agree. Like, if there's something that you're really passionate about, then like you can do it. Like, there's so many things on, at least from my experience, like the Tiltify like navigation has been so helpful. Like, if there's something about like education or about children or healthcare or anything like that, there's something on there for you. And I think what I found so helpful is that it's very easy to like set up your own campaign and like be able to like make things around that certain charity or around like your certain community.
Awesome. Do you guys have any like go-to charities that you fundraise for?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, Stella.
So I love fundraising for Hope for Haiti. It's something I do every single year in April. And I also love St. Jude. So like those are like my two favorite charities that I'm very passionate about because like kids, education, clean water, economic opportunities. It's what I love.
I also fundraise a lot for St. Jude, but in the past I've raised a lot of money for places like Trans Lifeline and the PCRF and things like that too.
Oh, yeah.
I think my main one is Movember. I find it very important to specifically help break the stigma around mental health conversations for men. And it's a charity that I basically picked 2 years ago, and it just became a yearly thing to raise funds for them in November. And it's been a really, really cool event that this part is like becoming part of my community as well.
I love fundraising for them too. I also do a lot of fundraising for St. Jude as well. And some of my like first charities that I ever heard about, Extra Life has like a very long-standing like presence in the Twitch charity streaming space. And then I also did my very first campaign for Charity Water. They provide clean water, access to clean water in developing nations. So that was like my first like, whoa, like this is something that is really cool that you can do.
I'm very similar to Simzi. I raise a lot of money for queer charities, especially Trans Lifeline. Being trans, it's so thank you for raising money and helping out. So go on to, we kind of talked a little bit about Tiltify and tools and platforms. And yeah, like what kind of tools do you guys use when you do charity streams? And if you want to go kind of deep dive into that one.
I think the most important thing is use a legit platform. I think it is sometimes tempting, especially if a charity isn't on Tiltify, for example, to maybe think about, oh, I can do it through a PayPal or whatever, but keep yourself and your money safe always first. Most charities are willing to go through setting up a Tiltify or another platform that is, certified for charity fundraising, but don't do it yourself because it can get really iffy really fast.
It's also tricky from like a tax perspective too, because a lot of the times, like if you're receiving that money, that kind of falls on you. So just to piggyback off using a legit platform.
Does anyone else have anything to add? Sims or Simsy?
Yeah, I guess the other thing about that is just like it's a trust thing with the community as well. Like if you're like, oh no, guys, like just pay me on PayPal and I'll send it. Like it is safer for everybody to use a like actual tool, like the Twitch charity tool or Tiltify or whatever works best.
Yeah, I would say I agree as well. Like if like money in general is just very scary in general. Like trying to handle it yourself, don't do it. But yeah, like Tiltify, the Twitch tool is very helpful. I found out recently, like GoFundMe is like doing like a streaming thing as well. So that's always like another way you can like do for charity fundraising if you want to do it that way. Because everyone knows GoFundMe, so.
I think another thing is if you basically have to pick between the ones, like the legit ones, and you figured out, oh, these are the 5 ones that I can use, figure out what they can do for you. Like they have different things. Some have incentives. Some have like an overlay on Twitch, like native in chat, and figure out which one is the most important to you and how you want your fundraiser literally to look and feel like. And then based on that, you can decide which tool is the best fit for you and your community.
There's so many more tools now that are, of access to streamers than that first stream I ever did, like so long ago. Just sending people a link and just going on a web page. No, now it's like we have the on-screen engagement elements, and there's so much that we can do that we're going to talk about.
Yeah, 100%. I mainly use Tiltify, so I've never used any other platform. So if you have any other platforms to share, definitely let me know. But yeah, in terms of charity streaming, the next kind of slide goes into the incentives and goals and how to kind of set realistic goals for your streams and also for your community as well. So yeah.
I guess maybe we can start talking about goals. It can be kind of daunting to set up a goal for your charity stream for the first time, especially when you haven't done one before, because it's like, where do you put it? Like, how do you start? I think in my experience, it's helpful to start small, because you can always raise the goal, you know? And it's really powerful to like hit a goal with the community. So maybe that goal is $50. And then you think, okay, we hit that really quick, let's raise it to $100. And there's no harm in starting low and then continuing to increase it as you progress through the event. Or maybe if you don't hit it, it's not a big deal. It's just a number. It's kind of just a goal with the community. But I found a lot of people on Twitch really like goals and like trying to hit them.
I think the more embarrassing, the better. Rosanna.
Yeah, having like incremental goals has been like really helpful to like, ideate fun incentives as well, like when it comes to like donations and coming up with milestones and kind of just like just building up that excitement over time, because that is just really powerful in general.
I think something else is also if you fear or like if you're struggling, how do I set realistic goals and is it going to be too high or too low? Know that every dollar that goes to charity is a good dollar. So in the end, the goal can help you. It can help you incentivize people to raise money. But if you don't hit the goal and you still raised a couple of dollars, that's a really good couple of dollars raised. So don't stress too much about the goals. Just focus on why you're doing that fundraiser, because the why initially is going to be the main driver for people to donate.
Yeah, I would say I agree as well. And I think also too, like coming up with like incentives can be scary. It's something that helped me in like my earlier days of fundraising is like going through like different charity streams or like different charity campaigns, whether it's like on Tiltify, and seeing like what their incentives were or what their milestones were. And if that works for you, you can try to like integrate that into your own community that makes sense.
Yeah, and the fun thing about incentives also is they can be as big or as small as you want them to be. Like you could do something as simple as like naming a character in your game. Like I played the 100 Baby Challenge and I let people that donated suggest names and I randomized from the list. And that's like a really fun incentive because people want to be the one that gets chosen, But that's very low stakes for me. Like I didn't have to do any or buy anything, I just had to make a list. I made a spreadsheet. Or you could do something big, like you'll spin a wheel and eat a scary jelly bean or whatever. But you can really get creative with that kind of thing and what works for you in your stream and your community.
What's the worst goal that you've done for yourself?
Oh, for myself, this is gonna sound bad because it wasn't even for me, but I agreed to shave my brother's head, and I really like. Everyone laughs. They're like, "Oh, that must have been so fun." I hated that. I was like so scared I was gonna hurt him. Like it was like bad for me. He was fine. I thought it was horrible.
That's so funny. Seems that you had one as well.
Well, I've done some embarrassing stuff before, like wearing Teletubby costumes and playing Just Dance. Not a fun idea.
I also did that in a different costume.
I mean, honestly, the worst is iconic.
You shouldn't have brought the costume here.
That thing is not washed, okay? So
I don't know how we'd fit I have a lobster costume. How am I gonna put that in my suitcase?
I'm a round lemon, so we wouldn't be able to sit next to each other.
wait, next year? That should be a good idea.
We should all dress up.
Yes.
Make it a charity incentive.
Yes.
There you go.
Taking notes right now.
Then speaking of your charity event, marketing your event, and how to use social media to kind of use as a tool as well. Did you want to have to?
Yeah, I mean, like something that I really believe in is like how powerful like something like word of mouth is, and social media is a great way to leverage that. Whether that's like short form like promotional videos or long form, just because each and every one of us are storytellers. Like we all have a reason why we're streaming. We all have a reason why we're fundraising for this cause, and being able to convey that in whatever sort of marketing leverage that we have is important. So I don't know, do any of the other panelists have like particular tips about maybe how to go about that?
Yeah, well, I think that like the power of, like this slide says, like the power of collaboration and the power of community is a great tool to rely on with this kind of thing too. I've like done a lot of events where I tried to involve other creators in my fundraising. This slide is a picture of my team that raises money for St. Jude every year. But we also last year, we did a big event called Simmers for Palestine. And we raised over $270,000 in just a week. Thank you. But we raised a lot of money together in just a week. 83 people participated in the event, and it's a word of mouth thing. You know, you ask a friend like, "Hey, do you want to help me do this?" And then their community is like, "Actually, I want to. Maybe I'll do this too." And all of a sudden, there's 80 people all doing a fundraiser together, and that money goes a long way. You know, it's maybe one person raised $5, but all of a sudden, that's like an extra. That adds up quickly for a lot of great causes. So it's great to leverage that kind of community.
To add on that, that marketing for that event was great because I was on a festival of all places and I saw it on Twitter and I was like, oh yeah, I want to join that. But had you not put it out on Twitter, had you not been talking about it a lot, I would have never found it. So talk about it, just spam it.
And with that, we like made a graphic and we just posted it. And I was like, hey, listen, you don't have to do a stream. You know, like I know that's a lot. You don't have to donate. But maybe if you could just retweet it or like share it in your Discord, maybe send it to your friend who likes to stream or something, because that's how you spread this kind of thing. So we didn't like pay anyone to make a graphic. We just made a little thing ourselves. And it can go a long way. Obviously, it worked.
Yeah, I always say I agree. Like the best way, like if you even don't have social media, word of mouth is like the #1 best way to promote and like celebrate a charity. Even like marketing, like in your own like coffee shops and everything is also helpful, especially in like your local area. I know my friend Shella did that.
Like the way that I would, the way that I would like tell like my family members, like my mom, for example, or my dad, and they would start like telling their friends, and then like it gets out like that. It's just as powerful as social media too. So leveraging your in-house network of maybe your school friends or work colleagues or anything like that.
Yeah, half the time I find everything out from either Twitter or Instagram. So, because like as a Twitch streamer, even though I'm a Twitch ambassador, I'm rarely on Twitch. Like, so I get all of my information from like word of mouth.
Yeah,
social media.
and it can be kind of hard to get stuff out that way on Twitch because Twitch is sort of isolated within your own stream and your own community. It's hard to like share that kind of thing out. You need to almost leverage other places to be able to share that kind of thing.
100%. Alrighty, so in terms of the next section, we're going to be talking about leveling up your charity impacts. So first of all is working with charities. How do you reach out? What can you expect from charities? And what can charities do to help us creators as well? So I don't personally have a lot of experience with this. So if you want to teach me as well, because I would love to learn.
I think the most important thing is don't be afraid to reach out. A lot of charities really want to work with people that fundraise for them, whether that be in just sending over some graphics or sending over some information or just providing you with resources and materials that they already use to promote what they do. It just makes your life as a content creator so much easier that you don't have to go out and find everything yourself, but that they'll just share the things that, their pitch or their videos and stuff with you, so you can use that in your stream to then pitch it to your audience.
I agree with that. Like I have a similar story where I wanted to fundraise for a charity called Hope for Haiti, and they were on Tiltify. And so I did the most simplest thing of going to their website and to their contact form, not realizing that they would actually even like respond to my form, but they did. The CEO of Hope for Haiti reached out. We worked together. I helped them like set up everything like on Tiltify, understand like what the gaming platform is because he didn't know what Twitch was. And I thought, I want to help. It's a very good cause, and I think the power of gaming can do so much good for your charity. And we've been working together for about 5 years, I would say, and we've raised a lot of money, over like $120,000 for like charities overall, and like setting up campaigns with like different creators and collaboration is very helpful. So, yeah. So don't be afraid. Just reach out.
Yeah, I think that's a good example too of like even if there's a charity, because a lot of times if there's a place that's local to you, maybe they might not be involved on Tiltify or on social media yet, and they might want to be, but not really know how to get started. And you could help bridge that gap. Even if you don't know about fundraising yourself, you know about Twitch. So, and they know about fundraising, so you might be able to contact them and work together to make that happen.
I think it's just a great way to show that the power of charity streaming doesn't even necessarily it's not exclusive to the act of streaming. Like that's a great example of how we can use our leverage as creators to actually like help expand that outreach and get more organizations on board. So
Yeah, 100%. Rosanna, did you have anything to add?
I think specifically on the last topic of what can charities do to like help creators, I think always when a charity is involved in the campaign, whether that be by coming say hi in chat or sending you like silly goodies that you can use on your stream, it goes to show that you are working with the charity, and the community loves to see that. They loves to see that the charity is like involved in the collaboration, and it just brings up the hype. So just work with creators, talk with them, and just come up with creative ideas what you can do together. I think that is the best advice that I would have.
Has any charities ever like given you like any of their merch, or like is there anything huge that they've done for you for your charities before?
St. Jude sent me this little button that I press every time I raise $1,000, and it is so effective. Like it's just a button. Like it just plays like a little sound, but everybody's obsessed with this button, and it's kind of fun to like have the repetition of it. And last year, my dad actually broke it
Oh,
because
no.
he slammed his hand on it so hard, and they sent me 4 of them. They're like, look, you're gonna need some backups, actually. But then it's fun. It's like a fun meme, and it becomes a thing with the community.
Oh yeah, I need to see this button. I've never seen it before. All right, so in terms of then collaborating with other creators, it's kind of, even like for example, like Rosanna reached out to me recently about her November charity. Like, how do you go about this? Like, do you guys have different ways you do it, or like how do you strategize working with other creators?
Start with your friends. Just start asking people you know if they want to join in, whether that be for a day or for the entire month if you're doing a big fundraiser. But also explicitly tell them, hey, even if you don't have the capacity to do an entire fundraiser, can you help maybe repost something, or can you share something in your Discord, or like whatever feels comfortable to you as the person like asking, whatever you want to ask for your friends. But I guess that's the best place to start. And from there, if you feel comfortable, you can obviously use social media to get creators involved and specifically say, I'm doing this event. Do you feel comfortable joining? Do you want to like help out? But I guess that requires a bit more setting up and managing the group, because then all of a sudden people come in that might have never charity fundraised before, and they're like, oh, how do I do this? Where do I start? And then you can decide for yourself if that's something you want to do.
Yeah, like with my Simmers for Palestine fundraiser, I'm a really shy person. So like DMing people, especially cold DMing strangers, is really scary for me. But I did kind of a mixture of obviously starting with friends. And then I was kind of just messaging people being like, hey, I'm doing this thing. You don't have to do it too, but maybe you could if you wanted to. And then I also just like posted like open call on social media being like, hey, maybe you guys want to join this with me? And I was really pleasantly surprised by the positive like people really wanted to, you know? And there might be a lot of people you know that want to start fundraising but don't know how, and might really like to join in on something else because they can kind of like follow other people's lead, and it can be a huge help for them. Like even with my St. Jude fundraiser, there are a lot of people who have never fundraised before, but they're like inspired by it and they want to do it too. And it's kind of helpful to have like me sending them. I have a Discord server where I post like St. Jude's toolkit and like all these things that they have. I try to make it easily accessible to them, and I think that it's worked.
Yeah.
yeah, I have a picture of like different team memberships here that I'm a part of, one of which I even helped like kind of bring people into. And like I'll never forget like one of my mods, like, you know, they never done a charity stream before. They ended up like joining this team. They learned, you know, asked a bunch of questions, learned how to charity fundraise. They ended up raising $1,000 for St. Jude on their first campaign they ever did. And it just goes to show you just never know. You never know the power of like what can come from us helping each other out, and then, you know, just from diving in and starting that first charity stream.
Yeah, it makes it much easier when everyone is so on board and so passionate about the charity as well. Like even creating Discords. I've been in Discords for PCRF where every channel is like a resource of like how to do this, how to word things. And it's so helpful, and like it makes it less overwhelming for people who don't know how to charity stream. So shout out to the people who make the Discords and the channels and the resources. And without you guys, I would be very, very lost. So and kind of going on there, using brands to also help with charity streams. Like I know, for example, we worked with NZXT. Is there any other brands? Like how do you get started up with that? How do you reach out to brands as well?
I always start with brands that are already in my network. So if I'm like I've worked with a brand before, I just send them an email. I think what has really helped is if you have done fundraisers before, sharing basically how much you've raised, but also how many eyes were on that fundraiser. So like just pick the analytics of that month and share how many people saw your fundraiser, and specifically tell them what they get in return. So like, hey, if you want to potentially maybe sponsor a giveaway, That's usually what brands prefer to do over donating. But hey, do you want to maybe give one of your products away? In return, I will shout you out 3 times on my stream, or we'll like check out the product on the website, or do a Twitter post or something like that. And for brands, it usually fits in the corporate strategy to do things with charities. So in this way, for them, it's a very low effort because they basically only have to give you the product. They don't even have to do any of the work, but they also get to kind of boast about working with charities. So usually for brands, it is mutually beneficial to get them involved.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think another tip also is if there's a game that you play, like your main game, I play The Sims a lot, and so I've reached out to them and been like, hey, maybe could I get some giveaway codes for Sims packs? And that's like super low ask of them. I mean, it's easy for them to get codes, but it has a really high return for my audience because they get free Sims packs. So that's like a nice, maybe like easy way to start. I've also had luck asking same thing with like giveaways from brands that I've already done sponsors with. I'm like, hey, maybe could I get some headphones, Logitech? And they actually will usually mail them to the winners for me as well, which makes it even easier.
Mm-hmm. So helpful.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say, like, I've worked with ASUS, especially for my last charity stream, where I did a 30,000 walk around Sydney, Australia, and they helped, do giveaways and stuff like that. So it's very, very helpful when you're already worked with brands before, and it makes it easier to kind of just leverage that in as well. Yeah. So in terms of that, creative ways to maximize impact. So this one is where it gets fun.
Oh, yes. Hi.
Murky, what's going on?
What's going on here? So this whole section is, us kind of like highlighting visually, like maybe some things that like we're proud of or just some advice that we have. So for me, this slide kind of taps into the whole concept that I tapped on earlier of spreading the word. It really is more powerful than you think. Getting like interviewed by like my local like NBC affiliate station or like an article for AP, like it just never just really was in the realm of like what I thought was possible. But those are things that not only really can help spread the mission of your specific charity stream, but you're really contributing to the causes that you are like raising awareness for, helping spread awareness of like, not only what St. Jude is doing, raising millions of dollars for their fight against childhood cancer. It can also just really help spread the word that like these streamers are like actually doing some really cool stuff,
And we do really cool stuff.
Yes.
And then next we have. I don't know what's going on here. I need context.
I'll try to explain. So this is actually a clip of us at St. Jude. We went to the hospital. Oh my gosh, it's still going.
That was a long clip.
Yeah. We went to the hospital with my parents because the reason I started fundraising for St. Jude is because my dad has cancer. And so it like sort of inspired me to want to do this to raise money for the kids of St. Jude. And they invited me to go and stream from the hospital. And so I dragged my parents there and we played a little trivia game. So this is us doing Sims Jeopardy. But my community really likes my parents now. Who knows why. But it can be nice to try and like maybe get friends involved in your fundraiser, get your family involved if they are interested, especially when you maybe have like, if that's part of the reason why you're doing this, maybe there's like an animal charity you love and you might want to try and get your dog involved in the fundraiser. I think that really goes a long way.
Where was this shot at?
That's at St. Jude.
Oh, at St. Jude. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Hang on.
Oh, gosh.
Well.
No.
This is when I want to know the embarrassing stories from charity.
Just so you know, I don't stretch no more, so I can't do that.
Do it right now.
My legs are tired from 3 days of walking. Okay.
5:30.
But yeah, honestly, I mean, we all love the Teletubbies. They're all great. I'm the original Lala, just so you all know. Okay, I'm the original. But no, I was fundraising for St. Jude, and I always do like this weird, wacky thing where I want to dress up as like a Teletubby costume and just do silly, random things. Like this one, I was playing Just Dance, and I love dancing, but I've never actually done Just Dance on stream. So I thought, as a charity, they like milestone, like if we raise like $4,000, something like that, I'll do like a charity stream in a Teletubby costume, and we hit that goal, and we did it. I have a purple one too, but I decided to use the yellow one instead because you know why. I love yellow.
Did you do the Rasputin in that one?
Gosh, I did. My knees
You
are.
did?
I did.
Oh,
did. We
I
need to clear-
refuse to do that on stream.
My knees are still
Your
hurting.
knees. Yeah, no, I've done it on stream, and it's not a good look.
No, no, no. Why y'all taking photos up there? I see
So
y'all back
Rosanna
there.
here.
This requires some explanation, I'm afraid. So there's a thing in my community that I do not know how to handle sour things. Like my face is not pretty when I eat anything sour. So they challenged me to start eating lemons for charity. And then one person came up with the brilliant idea that I should do that wearing a lemon suit. So that became a thing that I kept doing. And then I realized people love embarrassing incentives. So I said, if you guys raise 10K, I will wear that suit to the Movember award show, where I had to go on stage and hand out the award to the next winner because I won it the previous year. And I had to go in front of like 700 people in that suit and be like, hi guys, I'm here to hand out an award.
Were they all dressed up like in suits?
Yeah,
And you were in a lemon suit.
yeah.
Did they know?
I also live streamed it. But we raised 10K, so it was definitely worth it.
That's worth it.
10K. Have you ever done any other IRL streams for charity as well?
Not yet, but I'm doing a big event in November, and there might be some on the list.
Oh, stay tuned, guys. And then this is me. So this is when I was telling you guys, when we walked for 30,000 steps. So I got my friends involved, and they brought their golden retriever, which his name is Barnold, and he's almost as tall as me. And
I mean, basically.
yeah, and we're raising money for cure cancer because it's very important to me in the community. But yeah, we did a good job. We raised almost $2,000. But yeah, it was a 9-hour stream. So if you do IRL, take care of yourselves. But we walked around with a bunch of our friends that all bought their dogs as well. So it was a very collaborative day. So it was really, really fun. And I've never done something like this before. And thank you, Rosanna, for allowing me to put this into the presentation. But yeah, such a cute dog. And that's my friend Quali. Shout out to Quali. And then we're into the Q&A section of the panel. So if anyone has any questions, if anyone's curious about raising money for charity, I've never done charity streams before. There's just the mic stand right in the middle. So if you want to go forth and line up behind, and they'll be happy to take your questions. So if anyone has any questions.
Don't be
yes,
shy.
we got one.
Yeah, it's a bit of a walk, sorry.
Yeah.
It's okay. I'll get my steps in. I just wanted to say first, thank you so much for using your platform for good. That is so nice, and this really is the future of activism. I actually work for a charity in our live streaming, World Wildlife Fund. So I wanted to hear more about what charities could do to support streamers. I know you said it meant a lot to pop into your streams, but is there anything in the planning the stream or even in our pitch that might, I don't know, just support you and make it an easier, more enjoyable experience?
So for me, what I like to have is I know it's very standard, a one-sheeter, how much does this thing cost? How can we help in this type of way? So I think providing streamers, creators of a one-sheeter so they can go off of, especially having that one-sheeter of those donation amounts can help them plan out their milestones and their incentives accordingly when they're planning out their streams.
Yeah, sort of like St. Jude does this, where they'll be like, oh, if you donate $500, it'll pay for one red wagon at the hospital to bring the kids around. And obviously, this isn't always exact when we're talking about it, but it's, I think, helpful for the community to be able to conceptualize how much the money that they've raised could actually do. Mm-hmm. So if you could have some examples like that, that's really helpful. Also for me, I really like having just graphics and assets from the charity. When I go on break, I like to play a video sometimes, and if the charity has videos that they can send to me, and maybe have shared on their website, and it's 2 minutes long, maybe just cover, maybe it's an interview or cover something about it. It's nice for me to play, I can run to the bathroom, but then it shows direct stuff from the charity, and it also fills the time, so.
Yeah.
Also reaching out on time. I sometimes would love to fundraise for a charity, but I get an email or an invitation to do something in the next week or the next month, and I don't know about you guys, but I'm a planner. So I usually have an idea of what I want to do in about the next 6 months, especially for fundraisers. So if it is that last minute, I usually have to say no, even though I don't want to, but I simply no longer have the time to actually schedule it in.
Yeah.
Is there like, do you have a limit of charities that you do per year, or like when you plan to kind of like, no, not really.
No hard boundary, but I think it's mostly, do I feel like the community is up for another fundraiser? I don't want to tire my community by over asking.
Oh, you had something.
Yeah, I was gonna say something similar. Where basically, like, I know I just raised $1 million in May, and
$1 million. Hell yeah.
thank you. But I know that like to do something again really soon is. I can't ask that of them right now. You know, like it's you spent $1 million, so I like to try and space them out. But there isn't like a hard and fast rule about that. It kind of is based on a feeling.
Yeah.
Thank you. That was super enlightening, and thank you for what you do.
Yay. Hello.
Hi, oh my God. My voice sounds crazy after 3 days at TwitchCon.
I am the same.
Yeah, everyone understands. Hi, everyone. I'm curious, as a newer streamer, someone who doesn't have a lot of just like experience with charities, nonprofit work, or anything like that, how do you go about finding like these charities that are aligned with your, not like your brand, but like your community? Like, are these charities you had already known about, or do you have any advice for finding the right partnership? And if you already answered that, I was 10 minutes late, and I'm sorry.
No, you're all good. We can definitely touch on this. I mean, for me, like like one example that was brought up earlier was like, you know, hearing about it through word of mouth from like other creators and like watching other creators charity stream. Just how I found my voice as a streamer by watching other streams, I also understood what it took to charity stream by watching other streams. I think that that helps you not only discover the right charities that are out there that are doing amazing things, but it can lead you to those platforms like Tiltify that have those directories that you can really dig deep. There's certainly time to set aside to research, but you know, that's part of that whole planning process you were talking about.
Yeah, and I guess it also just comes down to what's important to you, and also maybe even what's happening right now. Like I did fundraiser, one of my first ones ever was for hurricane relief when I was in high school, and there was a hurricane that had happened, and so it was like topical, and it mattered to me because I live in Florida. So it could just come down to something like that. If there's like something that's happening to you or has happened to you in the past that matters to you, that you might feel inspired to fundraise for.
Great, thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
That was a good point you just brought up. The charity zone downstairs, if anybody had a chance to swing through, those are some great groups that are set up to support, especially with digital assets. They're very tied into the Twitch platform. So that was a great point. One of the questions I had is more of like a tactical question. Rosanna, you mentioned you're a planner. I run both individual charity streams, and then I also coordinate for a really large group of about 100 streamers. So we do planning sometimes 6 months in advance. But I'd love to hear from the group on kind of like what your process is, or like what your ideal timelines are when you guys are thinking about what I'm going to do in the spring, or what's going to come up during the holiday season, and kind of like what your 6 month, 3 month, month out, week before, like what are those big milestones that you're thinking about to set yourself up for success?
So for me, the reason I would like to know if I'm doing, especially bigger fundraisers, so not like a day one or a week one, but especially like month ones or ones that I want to have returning, where I want to get other people involved or brands involved, I prefer to start like about 6 months in advance with reaching out to people, because then I have a timeline where I can send them reminders without being really annoying and pestering them like every single day about it. I also know that brands just need time. They need time to chat with coworkers and to check internally if they can actually sponsor you or not for a fundraiser. So that's why I like to take that amount of time up front. I'm just in general, not for only charity fundraisers, but with everything I love to plan. So I have just my big content calendar where I have everything. And then I also make sure that like sponsorships and stuff don't overlap with charity months, because I always feel like I don't want to focus on a sponsor when I'm focusing on a charity, because they deserve all the attention in that month. So I think it's that reason is mostly I try to plan like 6 months ahead for big events. Otherwise, it's more like a month or two ahead.
Do you do it all on your own, or do you have like people that help you out, or a team?
This is all my own obsession and me and my Notion forever.
The Notion. No, that's cool. Thank you. Does anyone have any to add on as well?
I've I guess I also kind of start thinking about things about 6 months in advance, depending on
Yeah.
what it is, because I always do a big annual fundraiser every May for St. Jude, but I've done things like week of before as well. The first time I did a PCRF fundraiser, I did it that week. Like I decided I'm gonna do this weekend, and I like locked in and made sure I could get it done that weekend. So I guess it kind of just depends on like what we're doing it for also, and like what's the reason. But I like to have enough time, and I guess around like, I don't know, maybe like around like 4 months in advance is when I start thinking about like actual incentives, and like I need to get art commissions so I can buy thank you cards, and like those things just take time. So I don't know if that's helpful.
No, those were great points. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Tay, and my voice is totally shot. But yeah, I know that you were talking about timeline a little bit. Kayla, you mentioned the fundraiser for the hurricane. That was kind of on short notice, and that's what I wanted to touch on. When I lived in Dallas, we got down to like 29 degrees one time, and the whole city collapsed. And
I was there during that time. I remember that very vividly.
yes, and one of the charities that I found was supporting like clothes and blankets for unhoused people to keep them warm and safe during that time. And they weren't set up on Tiltify, and I was trying to do this all like day of. I was streaming that night. I was at work that day, and it was just hard to arrange all that on such a short timeline. So I'm looking for any advice you have on kind of like setting up a standard script to like run you through those things, or any way that you have to prepare for those kind of immediate things.
I don't know. I think that kind of comes down to like I think that's a good thing to bring up to charities when you're asking for like that infographic toolkit one-sheeters, because not only is it like important to know where the dollars are going, but it's important to better understand like the story and the research that goes into what the cause is. So I don't know if there's anything to add to that.
No, I agree. Like when you're planning something like the day of or like the week of, like making sure like there's some information on that charity's website, which 9 times out of 10, usually charities have that. Like that one sheet or like those videos or things that you can like kind of go off of on your stream that you can like communicate to your audience.
And I'm sorry, were you asking like how a script that you could ask the charity to set up on Tiltify? Was that, or?
Not even that. I was just kind of wondering, like, how do you prepare for the inevitability that you'll want to do that on a short timeline?
Yeah, that's a good question. I guess for me, now that I've had a lot of practice with doing charity streams, it's like a little bit easier. I'm not sure like if I have any tips for just like like a general readiness. You know, I guess if your Tiltify account is ready, maybe if you just have some ideas in the back of your head for incentives of things you might want to do, that might be helpful to know. But it's hard because like something could happen anytime, and you just don't know like what that's going to be, what charity it might need to be. You know, so I apologize if that's not helpful.
I just had a friend of mine, she really wanted to do a fundraiser for a charity that wasn't set up on Tiltify, and it was pretty last minute. And what she basically just did was accept that there were no overlays or alerts. So she just incentivized her community to go to the website and donate there. Because most charities have that set up, and you know it's legit because you know it's their website. And then she just kind of manually kept track of the total raised amount, and obviously depends on how big the fundraiser is, if that is something you can do. But it helped her a lot to basically just impromptu do something, because she just used what already existed and didn't go beyond that.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, and purple is the best color.
What? What was that?
Steven, who said that? Who said that?
Hello, super quickly, thank you so much for hosting this panel. I feel like it's really informative. My question is mostly related to, I guess, the streamer aspect. I'm a very small streamer, but I've got really big goals in regards to wanting to one day have these big fundraisers. Do you find that there is a correct time to start promoting fundraisers, or start kind of bringing that to your community?
No.
Okay,
I think
perfect.
if you want to do it, then you should do it.
Okay, perfect.
And I think that it's important to remember also, it's not about how much money you raise.
Okay.
Genuinely, just talking about the charity goes a long way, because that's powerful, right? Like you're using your platform, even if it's small. Like in some ways, I think that like when you have a small community, that it even goes further because you know these people.
Right.
Right. So what you say really does carry weight with them, and you'll hear stories. You might have someone come back to you and be like, "It means so much to me that you're doing this thing because I know someone who went through this," or whatever it might be. I don't think that there's a time where it's like, okay, now I can start doing it. It's just when you feel ready and when you want to.
Okay, then I guess it just comes down to making sure that the goals are obtainable for like a smaller community.
Yeah, and even if you don't hit the goal, I know it might feel embarrassing, but it's not. It's not embarrassing. Right. Like I honestly, no amount of money for charity is like not enough. So anything that you do is good, and I think we need to like drill that in our heads.
Yeah. Wonderful. Thank you so much again.
I just wanted to add on as well, like even like Twitch inbuilt charity tools. Like my friend has, so she doesn't have the subscribe button, she has the donate button instead, and she just leaves it there for the stream. So she's just been raising for PCRF for like the past year, and then so she like doesn't use the subscribe button at all. It just says donate here, and it also appears on top of the chat as well, to how much that she's raised, and she just like leaves it there. Like if people want to donate, they can see it. So even using the inbuilt charity tools on Twitch is very, very helpful. It's just more like, it's not very in your face. It's just like there for if you want to support. So I think that's a very good tool as well.
Yeah, equally, I have like a passive, like, open year-round St. Jude fundraiser I started this year, so I just have it in the like the Tiltify extension in my panels, and it just sits there. And maybe I just talk about St. Jude for like 5 or 10 minutes, just talking about how much it means to me, because it really does, and to my family, and like even just like little moments like that when you're not maybe doing like a dedicated fundraiser, that's still like immense impact that you're helping spread the mission. It goes beyond just the 1 week or 2 weeks or however many days that you're doing it. Like, for me, at least, that cause is like a lifelong mission. So I do what I can to support that year round.
Yeah, to kind of touch upon that as well, I also joined the PCRF fundraiser for Sims for Palestine, and I reached the goals, but I just left the fundraiser open. And then 6 months later for Christmas, I was making Palestinian food for my family Christmas dinner, and I live streamed it, so it was like an IRL cooking stream, and I just told people, I had like a chat command, and we still got some more donations on that same fundraiser. And it was like just a great way to be like, oh, it doesn't have to always be tied to big goals or like a big thing, but just talking about it made people want to get involved.
Yeah, like even having like a command in your title, and like that's what I have sometimes as well. Where it's just like exclamation mark donate, and then people get curious and they're like, "What are we donating?" And it's like, bam, charity. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Hi, I'm Hannah, and please bear with me if I ramble or sound nervous. Speaking is definitely different when you can actually see people in the room. So I'm a relatively new streamer. I started in about December, and one of my things that it's kind of my personality, and I kind of joke about it, is that I am not family friendly. I have very inappropriate humor, and I curse like a sailor. And I've kind of accepted how that would affect, working with sponsorships, and that's not really a priority of mine at this time. But now that, I want to do some good, I hadn't really considered how that could possibly affect me working with charities. So in your experience, do you think that do I need to clean it up?
I was gonna say, as an Australian, hell no. I also swear like a sailor. But as long as you keep it like appropriate, it's not like, talking bad about people or whatever. It's just like, I'm just always swearing about random stuff like at the game or something like that. But.
I was gonna say, I just used that to my advantage. So I used crowd control in The Sims, and my chat can get unhinged. So they spawned in children and then burned them alive, and they were and it raised a lot of money for charity, and they burned 112 children in a half an hour.
On The Sims context,
not in real life.
In a video game, okay? Context.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
So my name is the Jet Rocket, and Are there any incentives that you have actually done that you regret actually doing in the first place?
Oh.
Every day. Every day. Yes. Honestly, the Teletubby. Why? I don't know why. I think of these crazy ideas in my communities like, hey, you should do this, you do that. Like, okay, whatever. Well, like, I'll add it to my little incentive. So basically, I still haven't done it, but there was when I was fundraising for St. Jude, I said, oh, this is a funny thing. Like, I'm close to, like, let's get to $10,000 and I'll do like a purple stream like for an entire week. I haven't done it yet. We've raised over $10,000 in like, okay. But yeah, things that I regret are like, in a way, I guess I don't regret them. At the time, like, oh, why did I do this? But I think at the end of the day, we raised a lot of money for a cause that I believe in. So, like, in a way, it's a good thing. I don't hate it.
Yeah, I think there are things that I jokingly regret. You know, like I don't actually regret it, but I also kind of am like, why did I say that? You know, maybe I shouldn't have danced in the lobster costume. But like, it was fun and it was funny, so I don't actually regret doing it. I think that it kind of comes down to sometimes you have to set boundaries a little bit with like, because your chat is gonna push you to stuff, and like sometimes you just gotta like. Some things are too far, you know? And if you're not comfortable, like, don't let them make you agree to it in the first place, right?
And they're honestly very understanding about, like, the boundaries when you're, like, very clear about that.
I think I have one that I genuinely regret.
Not the lemon
They were allowed to, like, smash a pancake with whipped cream in my face. But my hair smelled like whipped cream for like a week after, and it goes sour really fast. So I've learned never to do that again.
Smoky.
Just one of many lessons that we learn as charity streamers. Yeah, my jokingly regret answer is throwing on the maid outfit, I think, on stream. Yeah.
Everyone loves the maid outfit, though.
I know, it's a classic. Yeah, I jokingly regret it, though, but not actually regret it.
I think my regret was painting myself green for Shrek. And then I had work the next day, and it didn't come off. And I was like, I don't know how to get it off. And then I was like, oil. And then I still had some bits on. Luckily, my face was okay, but the rest, not good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. One more.
Hi, my name's Sloth. And I've basically been doing charity streams since I started streaming on Twitch, maybe like 3 or 4 years ago. I think the last total was over like $15,000 for rain. But I guess really what my question is, you know, like you guys have raised so much. Did you, I guess, is there like a point or something different that you've done that like really pushed you further past like, you know, the couple hundred into a couple thousand into literally $1 million? That's crazy. Like, was there anything like extra special or like something that you noticed that really helped like push you forward?
You know, I don't know if I can pinpoint it down to just one thing. And obviously I benefit a lot from my community being really big. Like that helps. But there are some things that I think have been really effective. I think one that is a small thing is my community started doing these joking dollar trains where they would all be like, oh, let's donate and like make some meme. Like let's donate with, one of them was toe puns, which they would like Toller Swift. Like they would donate, but like donate as Toller Swift. And then one person would do it, and then all of a sudden 50 people had done it, and we raised $50. So sometimes it's like weird little things like that where the dollar train starts and people are like, oh, if I could donate $1, what if we all gave $1? And then you have raised $20 more or whatever that ends up being. I've also had good luck this past year. I tried to make up a mascot. I called it the Money Mouse, and it was like this scary little rat thing. My friend Shella in the audience drew it, so you can blame her. But we would like jokingly say that if you didn't donate, the Money Mouse would get you. And then I had these stickers of the Money Mouse that I mailed to people who donated. And so like it kind of became like a character, like this fun thing on the stream. And I feel like that actually really helped encourage donations because they wanted the sticker and it was funny. It was like a meme. So.
Was it like an overlay on?
I had him as an emote. I have a couple emotes of him. One of them, he's like cheering in one of them, and he just looks kind of scary in the other one. So, but then I had like I bought like a rat plushie too, and it's a really scary rat plushie.
I want to see it. Springs, did you have something to add?
I was gonna say Seymour.
Oh, I had one. I had a shark too. And we kept saying his name was Seymour the shark, and we would say, "See more money."
I love those like I watch a lot of like Lil Seehaw as well with Just Dance, and I just love like the constant chants that like are used in chat as well. So then often that translates to like people turning that into their donation and trying to get chat to like say the chant, or and that's like also a great like non-monetary thing too, to just like get the hype going for donations and inspiring people to donate. Yeah. It really is the small things that make those big differences in getting to those like I guess like tiers of like crossing those milestones that you were talking about.
Yeah, the emote chant is actually extremely effective.
Oh,
like
yeah.
like it's like the shark emote and literally see more money, and they start copying and pasting it, and it's just fun and it works.
They should bring back the chant feature in the chat from Twitch.
I remember that feature.
I know, I miss it. And Twitch things.
Hey, yes, bring back.
Thank you.
So my question is, like you mentioned with crowd control, like spawning in a bunch of children and lighting them on fire for donations.
In The Sims.
In The Sims, yes, in The Sims.
Yes.
Is there like, for example, something like Tiltify or even like Twitch's built-in stuff, is there a way to interface with that with like your custom bots? So like, for example, donate $5 and it will like invert your overlays. So it's like mirrored.
I've done that with Extra Life before. They were using a similar third-party tool to where if someone donated and they selected that specific incentive, then that action was carried out on stream to where it did like do something like invert the overlay. So there are some services where that connection can be made. It's not with crowd control, for example, it's all built in to where like if you're donating for the currency to then spend on like doing those actions in the game, those are great interactive elements to think about incorporating in your charity streams.
I think StreamerBot can do this with
I think so.
like channel points and stuff. So I assume there is a way to set it up, but StreamerBot is a little bit more on the code heavy side of you need to know someone who knows how to set it up. But I guess maybe someone will, and then we can all use it.
Yeah.
Someone else do the coding, so I don't have to, right?
I wouldn't even be able to if I wanted.
No.
I use Mix It Up for my charity streams, yeah. So they do have the inbuilt services of like Tiltify. So you can select your campaign, and then through there you can like change your overlays and stuff like that. You can set it to which amount you want. So that's what I mainly use when I do charity events at home. So yeah, Mix It Up is another great bot to use as well with StreamBot. Very similar. They're just like desktop apps that you use and then you just download and then connect your Twitch app or the Twitch account too. Yeah. Does anyone else use any other apps or bots? No? I think we all use the same. But thank you so much. I think we are running out of time. We have about like 5 minutes. So if you want to just do a little outro and say goodbye to TwitchCon 2025.
I don't want to say goodbye.
I know.
But my feet are, they are screaming and probably want to say goodbye because they are super sore. But yeah, I guess we'll go down the line if that's cool. I'm Smirky. I really appreciate everyone coming out. It's kind of full circle for me because the first ever TwitchCon panel I was invited to speak on was also a charity stream panel 3 years ago here in San Diego. So it's kind of cool to be able to end off the 10th anniversary celebration with like a panel like this. So I really, especially in the last hour, I really appreciate so many people being here. It's so wonderful to see y'all and everyone in chat, of course. Like it's good to see that there's so much interest and passion behind the charity fundraising space, and that what we're able to do is, helping inspire y'all to also go inspire others to, start your own stream teams or do your own individual campaigns. And it's all it's why we're here on this panel. So thank y'all as well.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Do you have any upcoming charity events?
Oh, yeah.
Do I have any upcoming charity events? I usually fundraise for Extra Life's game day every November. And then every winter, I fundraise for Project Hope. They're out on the charity zone as well. They focus on humanitarian aid, and they do like a 12 days. There's a lot of like Christmas fundraisers going on as well. So I tend to do that and then start looking for planning for St. Jude every spring. Almost at $100,000 for St. Jude, so getting close.
Ooh.
Thank you all so much for showing up. I really appreciate it. So for anyone, I'm Rosannatxt online, and I play a lot of The Sims, co-working and stuff like that. So if you ever want to come hang out, we have a big fundraiser starting November 1st for Movember, going the entire month, and I have a lot of fun plans. I will make a fool out of myself, so if you enjoy that type of stuff, come hang out.
Can we get a sneak peek of some incentives or no?
Yeah.
Maybe there is an onion hat involved where I have to cook onion soup with an onion hat on.
Yes.
Okay. Maybe we will get there.
Those costumes go a long way with the fundraiser.
They really do.
But I'm Lil Simsy. I play The Sims, obviously, on Twitch. And I just want to, again, thank you all for coming. It really does mean a lot to me that this many people are here for like the last thing at TwitchCon. And I want to reiterate that no amount of money raised for charity is too small. Like, don't let that deter you. Your communities are fantastic. You're fantastic. And raising $1 is fantastic. It really comes down to just being able to spread the word about these things sometimes. So anything you do for charity is a big deal.
Well, I want to say thank you again for coming. Yes, like we all said. But my name is Steven. Spring Sims on every single platform on Twitch. I played a lot of The Sims, a lot of indie games, pretty much every single day. I love the color yellow, and I do a lot of charity fundraising. Like every single February, I do a different charity because February is Heart Month, but also it is my birthday month, and I'm going to be fundraising for the American Heart Association, which they're also in the charity floor as well. And yeah, like we all were saying, like, you know, if you want to start charity fundraising, start now and deal with your friends, family, whoever, because we can do together for good.
Awesome. Yeah, we got all hats
Twitch
right
has on the
away.
hat.
We got
I
hats
had to
right
point it out,
away.
you know?
And let me call out real quick, because Twitch always does their Together for Good event that they do annually around like Giving Tuesday. So Giving Tuesday is also a really good time to start learning and getting ready for a charity fundraiser. That usually happens late November. So keep your eyes out for that.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, I'm Trash. And yeah, I'm just here.
No, you're amazing. Oh my gosh.
I'm just Trash. Well, yeah, everyone, thank you so much for being here for today's panel. It was amazing. Well done, everyone. And it's the end of TwitchCon. No.
Hope you all had an amazing TwitchCon.
Yeah, I hope you all had an amazing TwitchCon as well. And enjoy the rest of your Sunday. If you're at the drag show later, let us know because I'll be there. Oh, we'll be there.
Right.
But yes, take care and stay safe. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
So long, TwitchCon.
Bye.